Hello, Internet. My name's Ashley, and I like horror movies. I do written reviews on a website. I'm not the only reviewer. I have a bunch of friends. They review on the site as well. But recently, I bought a movie out of the Walmart's $5 bin. Um, I was very super excited to have gotten that movie. And the movie was so bad, it inspired me to actually make a video about it. So, yeah, the movie that I'm going to review is so bad that everybody involved should be arrested because they took potential and they violated its butt. In the great country of America, and most other countries for that matter, it's illegal to violate butts. The Chernobyl Diaries, or Chernobyl Diaries. I'm probably saying that wrong. I don't know how many are familiar with this movie. Maybe this shot right here might refresh in your memory. There might be some of you that don't know about it. I really don't know how big the movie actually was. I'm pretty sure it was in theaters though. And I remember seeing the trailer and I remember thinking, wow, that looks so good. Like, that's gonna be killer. That's gonna be sick. That's gonna be just so awesome. And it's not that it's so much different, um, a concept as the Hills Have Eyes, excuse me, because it's about radiation. But it differs because Chernobyl is an actual city in Russia, and in 1986 they had the world's worst nuclear disaster. You can't live in it. It's not habitable for at least another like 30, 40, maybe even 50 years. It's ridiculous amount of time. I mean, that's how bad it was. But I just felt like it was going to be really good, and because it's not based on a true story, but it's based on a real place, and it just kind of has a creepy atmosphere to it. It's anyway. So what about the movie did I not like? Well, there was a lot about the movie I did not like. My main like just what peeved me out was the actors. They were horrible. It was bad. Um, you know, there was no happy medium in their acting. It was more like, all right, well now it's time to scream, so I'm just gonna just overdo it to the point where it almost embarrasses you for them. And then at times where you think that they should be serious, it didn't seem like they were delivering hard enough. It didn't seem like they were really. It was like they knew they were on a set. It was just very unbelievable acting. And the characters were those stereotypical throwaway characters. You've got the handsome bachelor and, his brother who's the wuss. And the wuss has, of course, got a fiance. And, you know, and then there's that single hot chick friend who's there for the bachelor. And, just then we've got the two traveling hippies that they're all in love after 3 weeks, and it was so like it was so stereotypical, and just like I couldn't get into the characters. I don't know if it was the kind of characters they were or if it was the actors who were portraying these characters, but either way it just didn't work. Another thing that really aggravated me about the movie is it seemed like it didn't have good pacing. Um, I just found myself just not caring. It took forever to get to the good stuff. Then when it got to the good stuff, it didn't give you enough of the good stuff. And then when it got really good, and I did, this is probably what made me loathe the movie, was it finally started to get good, and I was excited, and I was like, yeah, now we're getting there. And it was like, oh yeah, the movie's done. It was like, no, wait, you showed me 5 minutes of potential, and then you just go away. That's it? We're done? Oh, this movie's a mess. It's a mess. I don't know. I mean, there might be other people that don't agree. They might have liked it, but I most certainly did not like it. And I'm not one of those people, that cynical kind of person, that reviewer who's got to stick up their butt. I'm not that kind of person. So it's not like I'm not being fair. I'm not hard to please. I like remakes of movies. I like reboots of movies. I like the second and third and fourth parts of movies. My favorite movie, one of my all-time favorite movies, is Nightmare on Elm Street, the third one, which is Dream Warriors. I love it, and that's not the first. And so, I'm not that hard to please. I think the movie has a feeling of being rushed. I think it could have been a lot better. I think it could have been actually way, way, way better. It just doesn't feel thought out very well, in my opinion. I don't like it. It's just terrible, and it made me want to make a terrible video of my own. I was so angry that I even spent the $5 on it. Now, I will say, and it is worth noting, that I did rewatch the movie before I did this review, and I did that in hopes that maybe with some time and then maybe a rewatch, I might learn to appreciate it more. That happens sometimes with horror movies. I mean, I'll get into that in a minute, but I gave it a rewatch, and I was looking for a redeeming quality, and I just felt so bored. I remembered every bit of it. I could rewatch The Fog. Like, I think me and my husband rewatch that like once every 2 weeks. We watch it all the time, and it never gets old. That's good filmmaking. This movie I've watched once. It was like 6 weeks ago, and it was so boring. But I did accomplish a goal, and my goal was to find something at all redeeming about the movie, and I did. And that redeeming quality is scenery. I think I did like that before, but I was just so off-put by everything else. The scenery's great. I don't know where they shot it. I didn't do my research, but it looks good. It looks believable. Very haunting. The atmosphere, that the set gives is creepy. It is scary. It is intense. I most certainly would not like to go visit there. I would be terrified. I probably would visit there, but whatever. Whoever wrote the film had the characters really just acting very unbelievably, in a way of humans have a very strong survival skill. There's nothing we can do about it. It's just in our blood. It's in every fiber of our being, and these characters seem to lack that very, very, very much. And it's not like when you're watching a movie where the character goes downstairs and you're like, no, don't do that, guy. No, it's not that. They continuously go back into the building, and they know they don't know it well, and it's like, okay, so here's your building, and all the way around this humongous city, actually, it's not even a building, it's a city, excuse me, but all the way around this city, there are woods every which way, and nobody wants to go into the woods. They would prefer to go into the city, the big building in the city, and take their chances there, and it just seems stupid because they keep doing it and it never turns out well, and they're at quite the disadvantage when it's been proven to them that when they run, they get away from things faster, and they're just not putting two and two together, and it's just, I don't know, I didn't like it. I wish I could have liked it. Lord knows I wish I could have liked it, because I love horror movies, and the worst feeling in the world is when you get a movie, rent, whatever, or watch it, you invest in the time, you invest in the characters, you invest in every bit of it, and then it sucks. It it's a horrible feeling. Even if you're not really into horror, any movie that you watch and you invest and then you sit it through and you hope it gets better and it just doesn't get better. Very disappointing. Sad. It just didn't really have very many redeeming qualities for me. And the horror genre has found ways to actually make bad good. It's a big thing in the community that, it was so bad, it was good. And, there's a lot of people that aren't into it that don't understand why a cheeky or campy horror movie would be appealing. And that's the thing. It wasn't cheeky, it wasn't campy, it took itself very seriously, so it wasn't good in that aspect. And then another redeeming thing that horror movies do, if it's not cheeky or campy, is they go balls deep with gore. And it didn't do that either. It had some gore, but it wasn't appeasing. It wasn't good enough for me. It just fell flat. It fell flat. It took potential and it fell flat and it pissed me off and it made me sad and it made me come do a video review and make an ass of myself. But that's how bad it was. I'm gonna do more video reviews. I don't know when. I work and I have kids and there's a lot. I'm gonna do more. Hopefully I'll get better, and I think my next review is probably gonna be on something that I like, because I don't want to complain and turn into that cynical reviewer, because better things to do than bitch. And I think there's a lot of really good horror movies that the general masses don't know about, and if they don't know about them, they can't appreciate them. And I think that if I make videos, then maybe some of those movies will get some love. They're well-deserved love. As I said, this movie sucks. You want to give it a try, give it a try. If you hate it, I told you so. If you love it and you're pissed off at me because I didn't like it, well, that's the difference of opinions, and deal with it, bro. And I'm gonna post a link down below to get you over to our website, in which we do reviews. We don't really have a set review schedule. None of us. There's a good amount of us. There's way more than me, and there's more talented than me. And our site has some quickie reviews, and it has, long reviews, and then it has, interviews, and it's the site's only about a month to 6 weeks old, I want to say. And right now it's done through World Press, but we are working on buying the name or whatever. I'm not a techie. The director who thought up the site, he knows what it is. The domain, that's what it is, the domain name. So give us some support. Give me some support. We know what we're talking about for the most part. A little crazy, lovable, bloody, So, yeah. Until next time, stay haunted, my ghoulies.